Welcome to something to talk about.
Yeah, really loud.
Welcome to something to talk about.
Welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and this is the second episode of Season 2 of House of the Dragon. And this is just my kind of review, my thoughts, and some differences. And yeah, you guys know what this is. You saw the thumbnail. Rhaenyra the Cruel, House of Dragon, Season 2, Episode 2, review and major differences. Yeah, sorry if this is coming out a little later. I'm not really sure when I'll be able to do it each week. It's just like when I can. Busy guy. And yeah, 10-hour shifts Monday through Thursday. So then you watch it Sunday, and then I try to write it as I'm watching it, and then a little after, and then I need to get to bed because I work. And same as all of you guys, right? Just normal stuff. And if I can't film it Monday, then I'm gonna have to film it Tuesday, and hopefully I can put it out Wednesday morning. So here we are. Let's go. Boom. Aftermath already? Oh man, it just started. Spoilers! I had to put that because I never think about saying spoilers. This is a spoiler review. This is everything. I cover everything in the episode, right? So if you haven't seen the episode, you probably shouldn't watch it. Unless you don't care about spoilers, but I mean, the show's better than me. Just go watch it. It's got to be more entertaining than this mug, right? Okay, spoilers. We start with a bloody blanket and Aegon destroying his dad's Legos. Oh, man. And you know, I really like that Lego set, and it was probably, like, symbolic because it's like his dad loved it, and his dad never loved him, and then he lost a son, so he destroys him. There's symbolism there somewhere. Probably. All right, moving on. The Greens go through grieving, starting with Otto telling Alicent to look at the bright side. Good job, Otto. He's like, yes, but there's an opportunity here with your grandson's vicious murder. What? I don't know. We'll find one. Oh, man. Aegon calls his council. He freaks out more. He just rampages this whole episode until Larry's the Creepfoot comes in and says they got blood. They got the guy named Blood. Not like, we got some blood. No. They got the dude who helped murder his son. Jeez. The council's discussing blame as Aegon continues his rampage until they settle on blaming Rhaenyra. And discuss the funeral as political theater. So they're going to use kind of the funeral kind of as like a political thing here. Can we name a punk band the bitch queen of bastards? That's a great name. Oh man, that's what he calls Rhaenyra. It's awesome. After Alicent convinces a grieving mother, her daughter, of her duties. She's like, yeah, but we got duties. Stop grieving that kid. Jeez. The funeral starts. And it's cool. The show kind of flips from the funeral moving down, like the funeral moving down the road, and then over to the blood confessing, right? Aegon stepping in the chamber with a mace was friggin' terrifying. Since we knew he's been rampaging all day. Yeah, he's been breaking everything, breaking Legos. He's been, yelling at people and knocking stuff over. And then finally he's got the dude who helped kill his son. And he comes in with a mace and he's like, bro, you should see what happened to Legos. I'm gonna beat your face like Legos. and then he does. I hope no one steps on his face afterwards. Because, Legos hurt when you step on them. There's a joke there. I'm tired, guys. Jeez. All right. Yeah, that was crazy. We see him go rage on Blood's face, and we see the juxtaposition of Helena's grief and Aegon's grief. The crowd turns to hate Rhaenyra, but it freaks out Helena. Yeah, like I said, she's kind of coded to have autism of some sort. Of course, it's not stated, but that's kind of how I see a lot of her actions, and I think it really fits for Helena, and I kind of really love it. But she kind of is getting freaked out by the crowd, and it's showing like Otto is using this as political theater. and it is getting like the crowd against Rhaenyra and on their side, but on the flip side, it's freaking out Helaena. And it's like the family is suffering for the political gain, right? Okay, cool. Catching up with Team Black on Dragonstone, Rhaenyra learns that the kid is dead and that she is to blame. She then questions Daemon, and he dances around it until the argument heats up. Yeah, he doesn't really state. She eventually asks Daemon straight out if he accepts her as his queen, and he avoids the question. He doesn't go, yes, shut up, making it about himself. She's like, do you accept me as a queen? And he's like, your dad liked me more. Shut up, dude. What a jerk. Daemon's a jerk, okay? I mean, I know he's like hot and stuff, but like he's a D-bag, I think so. I know there's Daemon defenders out there, but his mom didn't love him. His mom did love him. All right. He doesn't really have a lot. He doesn't have a lot of excuses. Okay. He had a pretty decent life. I'm just saying. Where was I? Daemon asked straight out if, sorry, I already asked that. He avoids the question making about himself, claiming that she was only made heir because Viserys hates him. Everything's about him. You only have this life out of spite towards me. He admits the child murder was a mistake, and then she calls him pathetic. Daemon, in a huff, leaves on the goodest boy ever dragon, Craxes. Ain't Craxes just the goodest boy? I love Craxes. He's probably my favorite. He's probably not my favorite dragon out of all of them, but in the show that we've seen, like actually like straight up. Yeah, he's probably my favorite. All right. Where was I? She definitely loses trust in him and lets him go on his own path. So later, she tells his daughter, like, he's got to go do his own thing. And she's like, I don't really trust him either. Like, let him go and, somebody really, like, somebody's got to take Harrenhal. They keep talking about it. Somebody's got to go do it. Let him go do it. Okay, so now we got more aftermath. We see some symbolism with the Jaehaerys' bed being taken down as Rhaenyra plays with her still living child. So that's kind of like, got some symbolism, like we see a live baby and then the aftermath of a dead child. Oh man, this show's so morbid. We flip back to yet another Alicent bath scene. This is where Alicent comes to have emotional moments. You want to know where she develops as a character? The bath. Whenever somebody's like, Alicent, blah, 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 and she's like, I got to think about this. Get a bath ready. She loves to grow as a character in baths. She has one every episode, I think. Doesn't she? Most, holy crap. A lot of, man, she just loves taking her baths. Where was I? Well, somebody does. All right, she's involved in a bath every episode because it used to be Viserys' baths that she would be involved in. And that was gross because he was like falling apart and stuff. Ugh. All right, where was I? She has a bath where she comes to have emotional moments. Crispy Christopher Cole goes to project his guilt on Erryk, and they argue over his brother. The mirror of a scene from last episode with his brother Erryk arguing with Daemon, right? So there's like there's a thing. So yeah, like he just projects where he like walks up and he's like, your cloak is soiled after he's been banging the queen. And he goes, my cloak soiled? All right, I'll get another one. And he goes, where were you? Where were you? He's like, where were you? Banging the queen with her soiled cloak? Wait. Dude, stop projecting your issues onto me, okay? We all know you're a little scamp, all right? So don't come up here, call me a scamp. You scamp. That's what I gotta say. That's me. It's me words. All right. Where was I? This kicks off Crispy sending him to Dragonstone. So he goes, hey man, go to Dragonstone and kill Rhaenyra, or you're a traitor like your brother. We get a very interesting scene with Aemon and Madam, I believe it was Sylvie. I believe that's what my subtitle said, where he lays on her like a child and she confronts him, and we learn that he was with her during Blood and Cheese, and when Blood and Cheese were looking for him, right? So we'll kind of get back to that, but I like that he kind of really lays kind of in the fetal position. It was a very motherly thing there, and yeah, we're going to talk about how Alicent's not really the best at comforting her children, and it's kind of ironic that the only one who's kind of getting comfort by a motherly figure is Aemon One-Eye with a sex worker. I don't know. It's something. It's something to think about. Let's talk about. All right. So Hugh Hammer gets some characterization. He has a sick kid, and we're learning how the blockade is causing them issues. We're seeing how the war affects the small folk. It's kind of like the whole point of the entire series. Okay. All right. Adam and Alan get some characterization right after, talking about how Corlys owes them. I wonder what he owes them for. I know. I read the books. Get with it. All right. Staying with Team Black, Corlys, and Rhaenyra discuss the Queen and Lady. They're like in bed and they're talking about the Queen. Lady Misery gets to meet with the Queen, so Mysaria gets to show up, and they talk about Daemon finding common ground. This is probably, they kind of like rap about Daemon, and it's a really interesting scene because Rhaenyra kind of starts off like she's gonna scold her for being part of Blood and Cheese and stuff, and then when Mysaria kind of convinces her, she's like, dude, I had no choice. I do what I gotta do. I'm trying to survive. And Rhaenyra's like, I remember you. And then she kind of talks to her very one-on-one and very respectfully, which I like a lot. They find common ground because both of them have been just effed over by Daemon all the time. One was groomed by Daemon, and the other one just got screwed by him. Daemon's a piece of crap. All right, where was I? This is probably the best we see Mysaria in a very good performance by Sonoya Mizono. I should try to pronounce these names before I say them out loud. I'm so bad at reading things. So yeah, she does really good. I was kind of wishy-washy on her accent in season 1, like a lot of people were. I wasn't like, oh, it's ruining the show. I was like, I'm not so sure if I love it. I don't know, man. This season so far, I think she's doing really good, and especially that scene. I think she's killing it. I never really said anything bad about her acting before. I was like, I don't know if that's the right choice with the accent. But, like, performance-wise, she's doing a pretty good job. I really like that scene. All right. Back at King's Landing, we see a bunch of dead rat catchers, and Otto starts to yell at Aegon in front of Christmas Christopher. So, let's go back. Do you think that was Ulf the White, the drunk guy walking down the streets? He's another character who's kind of like Hugh Hammer, who's going to come into play later on. But Ulf the White, all we really know about him is that he's a drunky drunker. But he is from Dragonstone. But here we are. We already had Hugh is supposed to be in Dragonstone, but he's in King's Landing. So maybe Ulf the White finds his way over there. But you think the drunk dude kind of, maybe? I don't know. Possibly. Or he's just a drunk dude, and I don't know anything. I don't know anything, by the way. So, yeah, Otto starts to make fun of him in front of Christian Cole, calling him the king a fool. Ooh, you're not supposed to do that. Aegon dismisses the insults and then tells him that they sent Arryk to Dragonstone. And Otto tells him that Daddy never liked him. This is like so great. So Aegon dismisses him again, but this time as his hand, and he pins it on Crispin Cole. calling him a steeled fist. My new hand will be a steeled fist. Hand? Fist? You get it? That's the best jokes Aegon can come up with. Yeah. My new hand's gonna be like steeled fingers. Fist. Fists. I'm the magnanimous. All right. The magnanimous. All right. Otto throws it on the ground. I forgot I wrote in this joke. So he dismisses Otto as hand, and then he throws it on the ground and tells him to melt it down and add it to the rest. All right, come on. This scene totally reminded me of the Bears That Saw Me one. And when he throws it on the ground, I heard, here, boy. That just came to my mind right away. Like, give me your badge. Here, boy. Melt it down and join it with the rest. The rest of what? The Iron Hand throne? Yes. Make a new one. But yeah, don't throw brooches, okay? It's rude. But yeah, so that scene's really good, and it's pretty close out of the books. He does kind of mention the main motive for him dismissing him in the books is that he's not doing anything. He's just writing letters, and he's sending letters to like the Triarchy and sending letters to other people. And he doesn't mention this in the fight, but it really does feel like it's partly the Otto is not doing anything, but Christian Cole is, and that's kind of like how it is in the books. But here, another big thing is him being told, like, that's your dad's guy. Your dad, blah, blah, blah. You need to be your own king, is like kind of what Larys is telling him, right? Like, stop being in your dad's shadow. You're not your dad. You're better than your dad. And he's like, yeah, dad never liked me anyways. I don't want to be anything like my dad. I don't want my dad's hand. I don't want my dad's chair. I don't want my dad's meatballs. I don't know, man. I'm just seeing what's there. I'm just throwing everything. And yeah. So that's it. No more Otto the Hand. He sucks anyways. Farewell, my brother. Oh, here we go. Massaria gets sent away by the queen, and she ends, and then she sees double on her way out on the island, heading out, right? She sees Arryk arriving on the island. He fools 2 guards into the castle. They're like, hey, wait, you're not out here. He's like, I am out here. See? Bye. A very tense scene with Arryk walking towards the king as she lays in bed all vulnerable. It was like it was kind of like voyeuristic and slasher movie kind of like he's like, we know where the victim is, and he's kind of like moving his way, and then he sees his brother and he ducks behind a pillar, and then, you know, it was like kind of intense. It's like building suspense and stuff. Yay, good TV. Let's go. Where was I? So this is the scene we've been waiting for. This is the farewell, my brother fight. It's sad and brutal with a very sad ending as Erryk, maybe, I think it's Erryk. She calls him Erryk, but it might be Arryk. I don't know. We don't really know. I'm not sure who died. I want to say it was Arryk, because when I was watching it, that's what I thought. It's probably out now and everybody knows who it was. I don't know. Maybe it's like, duh. But I don't know. At the time of writing this, I've only watched it once. But anyways, falls on his sword. Brutal. Back to the greens. They should have ended it like that. Otto takes out his anger being fired on Alicent. And then Alicent takes out... tries to take it out on Aegon, but he's crying, and she's like, ew, feelings. I don't comfort my kid. Ew. And then, so instead she takes out her anger on Christian Colsom's, Christie's face. And then she takes out her anger on other parts of him. So... this, along with the scene of Aegon that I skipped over earlier, but walking by his sister on the stairway, this shows us the Greens just cannot comfort themselves, and the only one getting comfort is Aemon from his sex working. So that's a thing. Loveless families. Not good, man. I have a daughter. Hug her all the time. I have a wife. Hug her all the time. And if we ever go through family crisis, I don't pass my wife on the steps. I usually go, "You all right?" And she goes, "No." And I'm like, "All right, let's talk about it." Let's talk about. All right, I didn't even have that joke planned. All right, Erryk and Arryk, let's go. Differences. Not a lot. This is very little. I mean, very, really noticeable ones that really stuck out to me. Hewitt being a family man and sympathetic in any way is a big change. He is much more brutal and violent. I won't spoil what I mean by that in the books. Maybe he will get there when he gets more power. If something happens where he starts gaining more power, maybe he's going to be more of a brute. But right now, he's like, dude, can us Smiths do stuff? And can we get work? And I have a sick kid. But, man, Hugh Hammer in the books is like a violent individual. So, all right. They actually catch cheese. That's new. So, I don't know if they know that was the rat catcher, if they know that was cheese, right? But we hear in the books that, and I think so, that they catch blood, but cheese gets away. And there's also like a big fan theory that cheese was actually Larys, which is interesting. But they didn't go that way in the books. So yeah, so they got cheese. Maybe they do get him in the book as well, but he's just one of the many rat catchers that are killed, and they don't know. I don't know. Farewell, my brother fight. The farewell, my brother fight happens. We get many tellings in the book. So if you guys remember, it's like multiple different points of view, right? But in all of them, the twins kill themselves. So that's new that Erryk or Arryk falling on his sword. So it was crazy and brutal, and I actually kind of really like that change. But, you know, I don't have them in front of me, but it's like the singers say that it was this long, beautiful fight, and he says, "Farewell, my brother," and then they kill each other, and they die in each other. You know, it's all beautiful. And then, like, yeah, it's all these different things. Mushrooms, like, no, they called each other traitor, and then they just killed each other right away. And, you know, so it's like all these different possibilities of how it happened. But they went with this, and that's pretty cool. So that's all I got. I'll put this out in the morning. I'm going to get some sleep. And what'd you guys think of the episode? I'm not really paying attention to like Twitters or anything like that, or pretty much anybody else's reviews. So if I've been really enjoying this stuff, these 2 episodes so far. So if like everybody else is upset, I don't even know. I'm not even paying attention. So I'm just making them. I'm just go watch them and put them up. So everybody, enjoy yourselves. Have a good one. And let me know what you thought of the episode. And let me know if you want me to keep making these. All right. Peace.